That's been very important for this organization, is to really get back to the foundation, which is your young players. And if you get back to developing your young players, you will have success because now you develop them the right way, in the right way, not right away, but in the right way, where they can actually know how to play the game, from learning to the farm system. I mean, that's what was so great about us in those days in the 80s. Our farm system was loaded. You think about Frank, Cash, and he did a tremendous job, with player development and young players, because, once your senior players start to move out, because they will eventually move out, injuries will start to happen, other things start to happen, and if you don't have a developed system down there for players to come up, to plug in, that can play at the major league level, especially play in New York. I wouldn't call it a complete reset. I mean, they're still good enough to win right now. It's just that you probably don't look at, well, do we have the marquee players like other teams have? Yeah, they do. They got Alonso, they got Lindor, they got those guys who are experienced. And it's going to take the younger players that are coming up to really be able to produce and play under the pressure playing in New York. And for them, the younger guys need to just they need to learn how not to listen to the noise, the outside noise. They got to keep themselves focused on the field and what's important. We became so good, not because of, being Doc and some of the other young players that came up, Lenny, but we were good because we had great leadership with Hernandez, Carter, and Ray Knight. And that's what the veteran players have to do. They have to take great leadership. They have to make sure the chemistry in the clubhouse of the team is good among each other. And it doesn't matter if you go through some things. We went through things, but at the end of the day, we all cared and had respect for each other because we wanted to win. And at the end of the day, that's what it's really got to be about. Winning is about a chemistry of team playing at the highest level and not complaining, but pulling for each other.
You mentioned in your retirement the Zoom about you wish you knew now what you knew then, and you wouldn't have left as a free agent. Pete's going through the same thing right now with free agency approaching. If he came to you for advice, what would you tell him?
I would just tell him that focus on what he has to do this season and have fun. The door's going to be open. The opportunity of staying in New York would be open. The opportunity in New York was not open for me to stay. I think the front office and the people here do like him. And, you have a big year, and now they got to open up their hands to you, and that's all it is. And he's a baseball player, and he knows what he has to do. And, just remember, have fun. Don't put pressure on yourself. Just go out there and play. They told me, when I got to that point, they said, well, you need to have a good season. I had a good season, and then we didn't even talk. So, and that opened the door. And, hopefully he has a great season, and it opens the door for them to talk and put something together, to keep him, with the club. They have some kids that are at the door right now that are here, and they need to kick through the door. It's their time. They've been in AAA long enough, and it's time for them to kick through that door and really know who they are, what kind of player they are. It's that time for them. They've had the ups and downs, struggles, but I think this year is the time that they need to kind of mature a little bit and really kick through that door. And the younger players are just, like I said, they really are good. They got some young players that can run, that can go first to third, that can steal bases. And you hadn't seen that in this organization in a long time. Since Jose Reyes and David Wright, those guys came to the organization. And they got some young players that are just like that, and that can do more things than just hit the ball at the ballpark, because you're going to need other kind of players that can do other things to really help you get to that next level, because that's why we were so good, because we had guys like Lenny and Wally, Mookie. All those guys can do the little things for the bigger guys in the lineup. And when we used to come to the plate, you look at that first and third, man, your mouth is wet, as a hitter, because those are RBI's opportunities. So they have a lot of that there, and they just got to stay healthy. They got some new players coming over, and they stay healthy, and hopefully they just have fun. New York is fun. Of course, they got to deal with the media. You can't run from that. Just come out and talk crazy if you like. Whatever it is, just say something.
That works.
Well, you guys wasn't around, but
Can you do the media training show?
I know it's different, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they just have to come out and it's part of it, playing in the big city. When you walk in the clubhouse, this is it every day. So you're either gonna enjoy it or embrace it, or it's gonna eat you up and run you out.